What's up, everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX vs. ATV Legends, where today I'm so excited to detail and show off the new Element Bike Pack DLC in the game, which is, in essence, pit bikes. We have a 50cc, we have a 110cc, and on top of that, we also have a 500cc as well. This new update to the game comes with waypoint races as well, but we'll detail that another day. I just wanted to kind of go over the pit bikes and offer my initial feedbacks to them. So far, as you can see with the 50 here, it honestly looks like it's got a two-stroke motor in it. It's definitely a two-stroke pipe. Keen to hear what it sounds like, because I didn't know if they're going to do like a XR50 or like a regular, you know, like KTM 50 type of pit bike or Cobra 50. So we're about to play this one. I'll do the 110, and then we'll check some things out. So if you go into your time trial, you now notice there's a pit bike section. We have the cornfield, we have the pit bike track on the sleigh grounds, and we have the pit bike track at Fox Raceways that we can all do. So the cornfield is new. We're going to try the cornfield first and see what it's like. I'm going to just turn Ghost off. So yeah, so like I said, we have the 50. We have the 110 EXF, which this one is a 4-stroke for sure. And then the 500, which is a 2-stroke. But let's just start with the 50 and see how she goes. All right, as I said, this is my initial reactions to it. First of which, we obviously have a... oh my goodness, we have a very big difference between the size of the rider and the size of the bike. And I'm trying to see, I guess we don't have the ability to shift. So this bike doesn't shift. It's basically like an electric 50 almost. And the sound of it is a 2-stroke, no question about it. I want to see how these bikes feel over these pitter jumps. Oh, that was sick. It definitely looks like it's got just enough speed to get all these jumps, which is kind of cool because it gives you the challenge of like carrying speed everywhere. And then through the whoops here. Jump up here. And then we got a nice little yap double right here. Oh man, this barely has enough speed to get over some of these jumps. Oh, running into the silo here. My bad. Trying to do the slot cam just so I can see what like the suspension looks like on the bike and everything like that. So far, pretty cool. And I think this thing even has a split section here. So let's go the opposite direction. We'll go over this table and then turn left here. And then we have, oh, look at these big jumps right here. Oh, just barely cleared it, a little bit short. And then out of this corner, we got a big double, another big double. Nice. Doesn't feel like the rider moves as much on the bike as he probably should for this being a pit bike, but that's okay. I'm just thinking about the feel of the bike right now. And so far, they actually feel pretty fun because they're just enough speed that you feel like you're not going to go too fast for anything like that, but also just enough of a challenge that it's quite hard to get over all the jumps. And they move around pretty good as well. Just crash. Come on. So we can get up this hill, move on with our life. There we go. Down the backside of this guy. Little triple right here. Oh, very hard to carry momentum on. All right, let's go back to our chase cam here. Reflex cam is my favorite. See if we can't maybe string some lines together. Very, very hard to keep momentum up on these bikes, but that is always kind of the case with pit bikes. I don't know how I feel about it being a 2-stroke, because again, to me, it just feels like it's a Cobra 50 or something like that, like a race bike and not so much a play bike. But maybe the 110 feels a little bit better, just because then it'll look and feel like a play bike. Suspension, not very good on these bikes, but that's to be expected. It's supposed to be a pit bike, so it doesn't have a lot of travel. Come on, get over that. Oh, just barely. And then carry speed through here to get this table. Nice. Oh man, we came up just a tiny bit short. Double this into the corner. See, that's fun, because then it's just like you can just go wide open to these jumps. You don't feel like you're going too fast. Jump up the hill here. Turn through the switchbacks. This is really a fun pit bike track too that they added to Rawlings Farm. Go through this roller section. U-turn, and I'm going to do one more lap. Definitely keen to try the 110, so I want to jump onto that bike here in a sec. Oh, hit that tough block. Still double out. Nice. And then this one I'm assuming is supposed to be a triple. Yeah, and then we can build speed to get this double. There we go. Nailed it. Ah, man. Checked up and didn't quite get enough speed for that. You got to hold it wide open everywhere. I guess that's kind of the cool part, is that you can just pin it every which way you go on the racetrack and not lose too much momentum on some of these jumps. But yeah, overall, pretty fun, the 50s. I want to see what the 110s are like now. So let's jump over to the 110 and actually jump to a different track as well. All right, now it is 110 time, and it's a 110 EXF as they put it in the game. So I'm imagining it's kind of like a KLX 110, or that's how it should feel at least. Oh, I go down the hill here. Now we're doing the Fox Raceway pit bike track at night, just to scope out the feel of this bike. So far, liking this one better. Got a little bit more kind of snappiness to it, a little bit more like from low speed to high speed, much quicker. And it shifts too. So there you go. That's pretty cool. Get a little shift in there so you can carry a little bit more speed. Like the 50 is a cool challenge just because it's one gear. You just ride it as hard as you can. This one, to me, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more fun to ride because you can play around with it a little bit more. Like you can really check up and go slow through some corners, or you could pick up the speed, go fast, down some straightaways, and in general kind of just carries more momentum through sections. Like, so that whole lap right there, I felt like I was actually going pretty fast, but not jumping stuff like that was unrealistic for a pit bike. Like I was going over the jumps pretty normally. And so that was kind of cool. Look at that. Like even right there, jumping over. Probably could jump onto that table, but it's kind of fun to just double and then up that and then into this corner. Yeah, by far I would say I like this bike better. I guess I could compare them on the same track and see if I feel the same way about it, because I wonder if like this 110 on the Rawlings Farm track maybe doesn't feel the same. Like right now, this track, because of the flow of it, I like it a lot. And even this bike, it seems like you could stay like third gear the whole track and be good. I was trying to get all the way over that thing to see how far we could jump. I'm going to just try to stay in third gear the whole track and see if it just hooks up. Kind of bogs in some of these corners, but otherwise it's like just fast enough to go through all the sections, I think, and not like rev out, but also not too slow for the corners. Oh, I wanted to try to jump onto that table. Almost. Yeah, so far, this bike feels better, handles better, and I did tuning to about the same spec on both bikes. Like I tried to give it the same tuning maps, which you can adjust, you know, based on like a 6 meter range on either side for, you know, suspension, handling, chassis, all that kind of stuff like that. So I wanted to give it like a fair shout to see which one felt better with basically the same tune. So I wonder if I tuned the 50 a certain way that was a little bit different, if I'll like it a little bit better. But I mean, I feel like even just watching this, it looks more aesthetically pleasing to see the momentum you can carry, the jumps that you can hit. And it just looks more fun. It looks like kind of goofy and fast, but also, I don't know, better suspension too, I guess, maybe, because it's a slightly bigger bike than the 50 and a little bit more motor, so you can jump a little bit bigger things. I would say this one's a winner to me, though. Compared to the 50, I'll go the 110. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Try a different track here. Let's go over to try out the pit bike track at the sleigh ground and see which one. See if these feel the same. We'll just leave it on this. Try out the 110 on this. All right, let's try out the sleigh ground with the 110, which, I mean, this is right up Axel Hodge's wheelhouse right here, having a pit bike on his compound, which is what I think this track was meant to be for the whole time, and felt like it kind of only worked to the 125, but now we're going to see if the pit bikes work. And I can already tell based on this track that I don't think that the 50 would be very good on this track. This track has much bigger jumps, and so I feel like unless you have the 110, you're probably not going to be enjoying life all that much. Ooh. See if we do slot cam right, if this feels a little bit better. This is the camera I feel like everyone loved to use with the old MX vs ATV games, so just wanted to try it with the pit bikes. And what I might end up actually doing as well is the last game that we had true pit bikes like this in, aside from the PC games, of course, because I can hear all you MX Bikes players yelling at me. The last true console game that we had pit bikes was MX vs ATV Untamed. So I almost want to maybe like do a comparison video to see which of the two bikes felt better. Obviously the physics are a lot different. The game engines and stuff were a lot different, but I would have to imagine it actually feels kind of similar just because like physically you can't do much with small bikes like these. I want to see if I can get enough oomph to clear this guy. There we go. Got all the way over. Yeah, this 110 is a ton of fun, man. It's a lot of things I can imagine that would be fun to do with these bikes. Some pit bike races with the boys. Certainly on the horizon. Almost want to see if like we could do some cool freestyle stuff with these though. Like is it can you backflip these things? This is like the original backflip bike right here. Everyone loved to try to backflip pit bikes because they were lighter and easier to flip around. At least that's where kind of everyone's ability to start backflipping IRL started to come from. Oh, tried to go for it right there and went for a wild ride. There we go. Got a backflip all the way around. See, that looks pretty cool. And then, oh, that's actually kind of sick. The scrub looks like kind of sick on the pit bike. Maybe because the body doesn't like really fling around to either side of the bike as much. It stays more neutral. So take notes, MX vs. ATV. The neutral look on the pit bike for the scrubs actually low-key kind of sick. Maybe they could implement it on the real machines. Yeah, look at the little like whips you can do. Oh, throwing it out there, a little turn down whip. Yeah, this is a ton of fun. Heck yeah. Very, very good addition to the game. I feel like this adds a lot of value to the game. It obviously kind of adds like a whole different element to the game instead of just racing. This is more like fun race kind of stuff. Whereas like up until now, I feel like the only racing that was in the game was like kind of serious. There was obviously, they started adding enduro and stuff like that, but it was really just supercross and motocross and 450s. Everyone was ripping the 450s. Now with these, it's like, oh, let's go have some, you know, dumb little fun races and mess around on pit bikes and stuff like that. Dude, the scrubs are actually sick on these little things. Heck yeah. All right. One thing I want to do before we are done with the video is just check out the 500. I've actually already ridden it. I was going to do like a raw reaction to the pit bikes, but 500 I've already ridden. I kind of know what it feels like, so let's go check out what that thing looks like and rides like. All right, so here is the 500. We're going to play the Pine Top track here on the 500 just so it can rev out a little bit. We got some high-speed sections and see what this bike really feels like. And while I rip around this and you guys watch what this bike looks like for a minute, one thing I wanted to add is they did this really cool thing with the Element Bike Pack where they're doing a thing called Rainbow Rentals. And that is, obviously people like to play with their friends, play online with their friends, and not everybody has the Element Bike Pack to play with. So if one of your friends has it and they're like hosting the lobby and they set up a pit bike race and they have these Element bikes and they want to just do a 50 race, the cool thing that they're doing is it will actually put you on the 50, even if you don't have the bike pack, the 50 or the 110 or the 500, and it'll be wrapped in a rental livery, like a decal on the bike. So you won't have the pack, but you'll be able to play with your friends so it won't disconnect you from the lobby or whatever. And then they're also saying that like you can use it to try the pack out for yourself. And like if your friend has it and you want to try it, you can try it out and see if it's kind of worth your while to spend the extra moolah and get the pack yourself, which I think is really cool because instead of just kicking you out of the lobby, or honestly even like what would have been worse is if it just put you on like a 450 and then suddenly you're on a 450 racing against all these pit bikes, it gives you the opportunity to like try the bike out first without having to download it. And I don't know, I think that's like a really cool system for them to try because they could have just said like, nope, you either, you know, buy it and you can use it or you don't, and that's the only way to utilize those. So I like that. I like that they went outside the box a little bit and tried to do something with DLC that was, you know, made it more accessible for all players and not just the ones that have the financial ability perhaps to spend the money on some pit bikes in this game or what have you. So I think that's pretty cool, and definitely something that if your buddy has the packs, you could go check it out and see how it plays and see what the Rainbow Rental is like. I guess I won't even know what the Rainbow Rental bike looks like because I will have the bike pack all times, so, but still cool nonetheless. So the 500 obviously is like a, you know, old school 2-stroke 500 just with like updated plastics on it, and it does feel like it goes maybe a little bit faster than the 450s on top end speed, but everything else feels kind of worse than a 450, to be honest. The low end speed doesn't come out of the corners very well. It takes a minute for it to like start revving up. Suspension wise, it's all right. It's okay. I kind of tuned it out like I normally would for a 450 in this game, and it's not the best thing in the game. It feels a little bit luggish, but it also isn't as bad as like the 254 stroke. I don't really like the 254 stroke in this game. I think this bike is a little bit better than that, a little bit more fun to blow and carry some speed on. But yeah, overall, like it's a nice addition to the pack. It's probably not the marquee thing. I think everyone's going to gravitate towards the pit bikes, as they should, because the pit bikes are kind of the thing that Rainbow has been building and teasing for a long time, and now we got them. But still cool to have a little extra flavor to the pack. Kind of unique to have a 500 in the game, because I don't think, again, we haven't had a 500 in the game since Alive. I think Alive was the last time that it had a 500, and that was one that you had to go find. It wasn't like it was just part of the regular game pack, so you had to go like, it's a hidden vehicle, if everyone remembers the Alive hidden vehicles. Anyway, that is a look at the Element Bike Pack with pit bikes, the 500, and some other things that are available in the game now. So if you guys want to try it out for yourself, head over to the store and purchase it, or find a buddy who has it and test out the Rainbow rental system for yourself. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions about the bike pack or anything I can answer, I'd be happy to do so. And appreciate you guys stopping by, watching another video here on Kellen SYS. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. So long for now.